This is your Weather Extreme video for Sunday, February the 7th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. And what a messy weather pattern we have shaping up for us for the first of the coming week. So let's get right to the maps. There's a look at our surface map for this morning. And interesting to note the what we call bombogenesis, or bombing out of the surface low just off the Southeast U.S. coast out there in the Southwest Atlantic. A bomb, or intensifying low surface low pressure, has to drop 24 millibars in 24 hours, and it looks like this one will probably do that. In the meantime, we're kind of between systems. We're not really being impacted by that bomb out there, that low pressure out there in the Atlantic, and we haven't quite been affected by a cold front coming through the central part of the United States. That will come tomorrow. On the upper air chart, we have this closed low that has been diving under the primary trough over the eastern half of the country, and that is helping to generate that bomb out there in the southwest Atlantic. In the meantime, to our northwest, we see up over the north central U.S. another trough that's going to be digging in, and this is going to be a fairly high amplitude kind of trough that's going to bring us some pretty chilly weather. Temperatures this morning generally in the 20s across north and central Alabama. As we dip down, we should begin a little bit of a warming process. The watch warning map is pretty complicated out there just off the coast in the offshore waters and the nearshore waters. Those orange values are actually hurricane force wind warnings. Yes, they're expecting that surface low to be so strong that it could have winds that reach 65 knots, which is just into the hurricane force category. The deep purples are actually storm and gale force warnings out there. Over the north central United States, we have the browns, which are high wind warnings, and then we have the the red and the blues, which are red are blizzard warnings, and then the blues are winter storm warnings. QPF-wise, you're not going to see much precipitation over the southeastern U.S., and what precipitation falls is likely to fall in the form of snow flurries, and we're going to have a lot of charts to show you for that. All right, let's get to the 06Z GFS model run, and there's our closed low off the southeast coast in the upper atmosphere. In the meantime, the thing we're really watching is that trough that's digging into the eastern United States right behind that deep closed low, and that is helping to generate this deep surface low off the southeast U.S. coast, especially off the coast of the Carolinas. The closed low rotates out and is well off the New England coast by this time on Monday. And in the meantime, the trough is digging in, so you can see the colder air is going to be arriving Monday. And in the meantime, the deep, intense low is more intenser out there in the Atlantic. In the meantime, yes, you see some blue. GFS is indicating that this weather system is going to be bringing some moisture with it, and because the atmosphere is going to be cooling down, we could see some snow flurries. We'll get to that in just a moment. By Tuesday at midday, we have the East Coast trough well entrenched over the eastern U.S., and in the meantime, that is bringing much colder air. Look at if you follow those isobars back, they go all the way back into north central Canada. So the airflow coming around the surface lows up there over the Great Lakes and out in the Atlantic. The snow situation, this is valid at about 6 p.m. Monday evening, and the GFS much more bullish on the snow than the European, and it's just suggesting some light snow flurries. The European, on the other hand, has no snow at the same time. The GFS, by midnight, Monday night into early Tuesday morning, showing that we have a little bit of snow over the area, but not a great deal. The European, no snow, just some snow in the Appalachians. And then by the time we get to Tuesday morning at 6 a.m., the GFS suggesting some light snow over the Tennessee River Valley, and the European saying no snow, just over the Appalachians. Now, one more snow chart, and that is valid at midday on Tuesday, and the GFS still fairly bullish on some light snow over the Tennessee River Valley and parts of north central Alabama. The bottom line is it appears, yes, we will see some snow flurries, and it does not appear that this is likely to be that kind of weather system to produce any significant snows that would cause any serious impacts. We might see a light dusting in higher elevations, especially across the northeast corner of the state of Alabama. All right, getting back to our maps for Wednesday, the trough very firmly in place over the eastern half of the country, so Wednesday is going to be another chilly day. And we should see a return to some sunshine, and that'll certainly feel better, even though the temperatures won't climb that much. The trough moves on a little bit on Thursday, and as it does, the the high settles in over the Ohio and Tennessee river valleys, and that should reduce our northerly wind flow. By Friday, the trough is still there, but certainly not quite as intense as it was. The GFS also suggesting on Friday that we could see some light precipitation, primarily in the form of rain, as the system brings a little bit of moisture with it, but it doesn't look like it's going to be that significant, and only just a small chance. Saturday, the trough's still there, so we're beginning to show signs of warming up as the ridge begins to move our way. And, of course, the high still well off to our north at the surface. And then by Sunday, a week from today, the ridge coming over, and that should spell some nice temperatures, as temperatures for next weekend generally in the 50s. And by Sunday, with this kind of pattern, we should be maybe in the mid and upper 50s. All right, looking out into voodoo country. Yesterday, the GFS was a little bit sedate on the number of systems. Today, it's back to its more typical pattern. There's a system around Monday, the 15th of February, that will bring us some wet weather. We see a much colder pattern by the 18th of February with a fairly deep trough along the East Coast. And while that will be colder, it won't be as cold as the one we're about to deal with. And then when we get out to the end of the period, around the 20th of February, the GFS showing another fairly strong system in the upper atmosphere moving through the flow with a closed low over Iowa, and that once again producing the potential for some wet weather. So no rest for the weary as when it comes to the weather pattern, as the weather pattern stays pretty active. That'll do it for the Weather Xtreme video for this morning. James Spann should be back with the next edition of the Weather Xtreme video tomorrow morning. In the meantime, stay tuned to the blog for notes on Alabama's ever-changing weather situation. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Have a super day, and Godspeed.